Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Look, got it wrong, but
This is
hey, too familiar guys.
this is officially
Our
episode one.
real episode. Getting dirty, getting down deep. As y'all can see, the topic is depression and self doubt.
How do you feel? How was your week?
That's crazy. I was just gonna ask you that too. I was just gonna say, how do you feel
We know
overall?
you just got to Milwaukee. How
I was flying high in the Mile High Club, baby, to get here. The only lifestyle to live. It is what it is. No, I feel okay. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I love my city, but I don't care how long I stayed in Milwaukee. I would never get used to snow. People be like, "Oh, you've been here all your life. You should be used to this coldness." Who want to be
right?
cold?
I mean, I think it's more the like why do people get so shocked? As
Yeah,
if
yeah,
like
yeah. I get that
is
part. Yeah,
like we've never seen it though.
yeah, that's true. That is annoying. But
Like
it's
the
just the
other
fact of that. If I
yeah.
say I'm cold, I'm cold. You can't get mad because I'm cold.
Like I get the other day when it randomly snowed when we woke up,
Hmm.
but any
Not
other time
randomly. It wasn't on the grid, but
that shit was random.
I ain't. Oh man, I was finna say I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Where are our old meteorologists at?
No, for real. Remember we used to have snow for Thanksgiving and Christmas and all
Man,
that?
none of that.
We
It'd
don't
be
have
a
none of that.
drought.
We
That's
don't have none of
crazy.
that.
But overall, my week was pretty well. Um, I ain't had no roller coaster ride. I actually been real happy lately, so I want to stay in this space.
Yeah.
What about you?
My week has been good. I've been working more.
Period.
Um, working on this. We've been getting this together for a while. That's really it for me. And you know what I was thinking? I sometimes I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I hate when people like if I don't want to go out to the club or something like that or to
Right.
the bar or drink or something like that and people like, why you not living your life? You so young. But I feel like that's not really
I gotta go out to be
that's
young and live
you know
my
what I'm
life.
saying? And I feel like people that know me know like my thing is traveling.
Mhm.
Like
Okay.
I'm not really
Our
a
thing.
I'm
We
not really a
ready.
like just randomly call me Friday night and be like, "Oh, come," you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like I will sometimes, but that's not really like my vibe. Like,
Right. I've learned that for myself lately because I used to be like, okay, I'm ready to go out, I'm ready to go kick it. No, I would go to the bar. I literally just went out last week, Friday, and just sat there. It's just like it's not the same environment it used to be. It's like, okay, I go to a lounge somewhere chill because that's just my vibe now.
yeah,
But if we ain't traveling, I ain't trying to really hear. I ain't trying to go out. I don't shake my ass, so that definitely ain't happening.
yeah.
I ain't no twerker. I don't know how to twerk.
And I've been seeing on TikTok. So okay, I was supposed to be in Dallas
Yeah.
on April 7th, and
Hmm.
I've been seeing on TikTok all the girls been talking about going to the cigar lounges.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we gonna
Look,
okay
now you
we'll
gotta
talk about that after the right.
start at one before you drink it.
We'll talk about that after the show
Cause I'm always down for a good time. Not a long time, but a good time.
Okay. So today we wanted to really get into if you seen our introduction video last week, then we kind of talked about us initially starting a YouTube channel in my old apartment and never putting it out. And we just kind of wanted to touch more on that about just like the feeling of being scared to be on social media
Right.
and then why it took us so long to even get back to wanting to do this and finally switching from just doing YouTube to officially being a podcast.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like just for you was like what held us back for so long? Because through the 6 years we were still talking about it and we just never,
Excuses.
yeah,
I feel like we're young, so it was excuses. So it's like, well, we ain't got this, we ain't got the money, we ain't got this, or our schedules was clashing, or it was always something.
mm-hmm.
Like I just feel like we were scared to actually just jump in, so we found excuses to keep us from actually going forward and like, okay, let's get this done. And it's like, honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like if we would have started back then, we would already been popping. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like we got great conversation. I feel like a lot of stuff that people talk about is stuff that I ain't gonna. I don't keep that one, but
No, what?
No. Cause you know my thing back in the day was baby, you know, how B Simone kind of say it.
Yeah.
That was my thing. That's my girl though. I love it.
I feel like too a little bit like on my end, it kind of was just like always people's always thoughts are like, so what if it doesn't get big, or what if it doesn't pop off, or what if it doesn't this or that? It's it literally the thoughts when you bring up something that could be bigger or having dreams that people aren't used to you having, it always turns into the thoughts of what if it goes bad, right? You know what I mean? And I feel like even with us starting now, even like you said, I feel like we could have definitely probably been way further now than just starting now. But I feel like honestly, this is kind of our divine timing for us. Only because I feel like our conversation is definitely, we've always had it, but it's different now. We got different experiences. Life has changed drastically for both of us. And I feel like a little bit of that is kind of great that, you know, we starting now. I feel like it's different. I feel like back then too, a little bit of me was like, oh, I'm into like celebrity life and what's going on social media. And now we both done turned that way down, and we kind of lost when it comes to certain things.
Y'all know I was a big Chris Brown fan. Yo, I ain't even gonna lie. Chris Brown this, Chris Brown that. Don't talk about my man, because that's my man. Defending him left and right. Now I'll be like, she be like, you listen to that Chris Brown and CD? I ain't gonna lie, I still have not.
When it comes to music, I feel like I'm on top of the music a little bit.
But he's a celebrity still. Like when you be asking me questions, and I be like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I don't keep up with none of that no more. I be trying, but it's hard.
So we want to get into a little bit of talk too, just about depression, and even like we said, how our lives have changed from where we were gonna start to now. I kind of want this to be a conversation just to show people that no matter the struggles that you went through and things in your life, that you can still push through and move forward through it. And even if you're not completely healed through it, you can still make something out of yourself if that's what you want. So we were talking about what actually is the definition of depression.
Before we hop into that, what would you say your definition is without knowing a real definition?
To me, I think it's more than just like the I went to the doctor and I got diagnosed with anxiety and depression. I feel like it's definitely thoughts. It's definitely emotions, feelings. I think that to me, if I could describe depression in like how you see it, I feel like it's like just something covering you and caving over you, and you can't fight through it.
Right.
And I feel like even that through that, sometimes people take people having depression and anxiety and taking that as, oh, you just being weird, or you acting this and that, or it's not that serious. But you can't tell me how to handle stuff, and you can't tell me how to get through it.
Right.
What's yours, even though you already
I kind of compare it to like a dark cloud. Like it's just a moment in your life. It can last long. When I say moment, I mean just it's a time period in your life where you just down and like your thoughts consume you, and like you just don't know where to turn. Everything just seems sad. You don't really know how to climb up out of that kind of thing. Like it's just you against everything. Like the world is on your shoulder type of thing. I definitely feel like it affects the way you act, the way you think, just everything overall, your life. That's why I kind of look at depression. Just a sad moment in your life.
Yeah. So what is the actual definition?
Okay. So according to the internet, depression is a common and serious medical illness that negatively affects how you feel, the way you think and act, basically. And I kind of agree with it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you ever went through depression? And when did you realize that it was depression?
I do. And I feel like a little bit sometimes still I kind of dig into that a little bit. I feel like it started for me when my mom passed away in 2017. And for me, that was very drastic and just very hard for me to handle. And even still now, I really don't talk about it. Maybe one day we might have a show on it, maybe to go in depth about it. But yeah, that was really traumatic for me. And as you know, like I left my apartment, like a lot of stuff. I feel like I just kind of I didn't care about life anymore. I didn't care about things. And still now I feel like it's hard for me to like, well, not even now, like I feel like I'm getting better with being able to talk about it, but before it was like I don't want to come out my room. I don't want to talk to nobody. Like people with the comparisons, oh, you look just like your mom, or want to tell me stories. Like I don't really want to hear that, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So that, and then I feel like I started kind of getting back into my norm. I was back at work, I was working out, and then COVID happened, and then my sister passed away.
Right.
So I feel like that really sent me. That's when I quit my job. I bought a one way to Seattle and I moved away, and then I came back, and then I moved to Dallas. So I feel like just that, all of that, and then that year of just being unemployed, traveling and all that, I feel like that was really a very tough time for me, I think. What about you?
Um, I feel like the moment I was going through depression, trying to think of how to explain it. It's not like right after, but let me see. I'm trying to think of the year. It probably was like around 2020. 2019 going into 2020, which is crazy because a lot of people probably was going through depression because COVID hit. So you in the house stuck with the same people all the time, arguing, going crazy. I feel like around that time I was just going through it too because I had lost a baby in 2017, so I was still coping with that. We had lost your mom, still coping with that. And it's just like seeing you also going through depression. It was a lot. And then having my own issues and not really having nobody to turn to talk about it. It all just built upon me during that time. And the way I kind of cope with it was going out. That's when I really felt like I was going out because I was really never a going out type of person. Feel like I picked up heavy on drinking a lot. Not where I was like an alcoholic, but that was my escape. Like, oh, I'm just gonna go out. I'm gonna just drink my problems away, type of thing. And dealing with a toddler, like that is real. Dealing with a baby, postpartum, all that is real. People would probably be like, oh no, it's the emotions. That's the emotion, especially when you feel like you're doing it on your own. But you may have people, like you do have people, but it still feel like you're doing it on your own when you have your own child 24/7. I feel like that's the time where I was going through depression a lot. And I feel like recently I've learned, probably last year was when I came out. I feel like I officially came out of depression.
Yeah. See, I don't know if I don't think I've healed from those things because I feel like I haven't took the time to heal from it. Right. But also at the same time, I feel like I'm pushing myself to learn and try to work through it and get through it. And I feel like that's why I really think like depression is like the feeling of like what already happened, and then anxiety is like the fear of what the unknown, basically. And I feel like I've really been working, especially with us starting this podcast. I feel like this is almost like our therapy a little bit, being able to just get it out and say what we need to say. So how do you feel like, in your opinion, would be people's first steps to like starting the healing process, or at least
to everything, like how everything is, accepting it. That was gonna be my kind of question. Like, when do you feel like? Do you ever feel like you have officially accepted that you were going through depression?
I feel like I did, yeah. And like, I felt it, like even after.
What did you say? Like, dang, I'm really going through depression right now.
Yeah, and I think that even started probably in like 2019 when the situation happened where me and a friend were living together, and we ended up finding out that she wasn't paying her half of the bills. So we're at home, me and her at home together, and my friend is coming over. And so we had a front door and a side door. And usually we just come in and out through the side door. And for some reason, I don't know why, I opened the front door for him that day, and it was an eviction notice on the front door. Wow. And so I go to her and I'm like, this is what they talking about. This is what they saying. And she was still lying to me. Like, while I talked to them, they said that it was just something about the internet, that they were fixing it. It was just the site, this and that. And then when I got a call from her, like our leasing people,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Yeah, you need to be out the house at 3 o'clock."
Like that same day?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
So I'm like, so I feel like that's where it kind of started for me because I had already moved out when I left school and I graduated. I moved out when I was 17, so I hadn't.
You was young.
I know.
I swear I never
Oh
knew
no,
that.
actually, I was 18 because I turned 18 in job corps. So
Mhm.
I was 18 when I graduated, and I moved out that same year.
Mhm.
So I turned 19 at my new place. But yeah, and then me and her lived together in 2019, and that happened. That was right before COVID.
Mhm.
So that's me thinking that I'm gonna move
Oh,
back
around the
out, and
same
then
time.
yeah, so stuff like that. It's like I feel like that's real. That's really where it started for me. Where it was like, okay, now I got a friend. I never had a situation where I had a friend that I couldn't trust. I
Right.
feel like somebody lying to me, and especially something about that
Mhm.
because I had already lived by myself for so long. I know I can take care of myself, and then to open it up to be
Right.
like, oh,
Mhm.
we can do this together, and then you were lying to me instead of you could have just came to me and said you couldn't pay your half or you couldn't this and that. So that I feel like that's where it started for me was moving back home, and then it was like
I'm gonna bet you in your shit. No, sorry.
weird, and it was so weird too because even the months prior, like she used to go on dates and stuff like that, and then be like, "Oh, the guy said he was gonna pay the rent and this and that. We don't gotta pay it this
So
month."
you thinking the whole time, like y'all said,
Man,
life is good.
I'm thinking she getting her shit done. Like I would get off work and I'd be like, "Okay, I'm about to go get a money order or whatever. However, we was gonna pay it." And I'd be like, "You got like you good? You got your half?" And she like, "Yeah." Whole time.
Straight line through her teeth. That's
So stuff
crazy.
like that, I feel like when stuff just constantly starts getting piled on, I feel like people need to find an outlet to release all of that and get, especially this day and age. I feel like going to therapy too is very something big that a lot of people talking about, and I feel like it's very important. I have never went, like I've talked to the therapist at church, but I've
Mhm.
never actually went and had like a session or anything. You ever thought about doing it or?
Yeah, plenty of times.
Yeah.
I actually did go to counseling when I was younger. Y'all, I don't even think y'all want to hear this, but I used to get teased about being smart in school, so I had wrote a letter saying that I was gonna blow the school up. And my stanky breath ass teacher was standing over me, and he read my letter and he reported me to the counselor. And they called my mama and everything. Had mama come up there and was like, they supposed to report it to the police, but they wasn't because they knew it wasn't. They knew I wasn't gonna act on it.
No,
But
because Nacho was a baby teacher.
boom. Hey, y'all was all going down. No, I'm saying, let me stop. No, but I didn't like that. I used to get teased about being tall, about just being smart, all that. So it was weird. Now it's just like, okay, I'm smart and y'all dumb as hell. So
And now y'all mad at me.
now y'all mad at me. But stuff like that.
But never as an adult you ever felt like you wanted to go or you did and just haven't.
Yeah. Through my situation is like a marriage counselor, like going
Oh
marriage
yeah.
counseling. But other than that, as far as for depression, no.
Mhm.
I feel like only because not let me give you props. But me just talking to you, I feel like that was my outlet. Like even if you just didn't say nothing, you just on the phone. I feel like me just talking and speaking it out loud or just writing it down. Sometimes like journaling was helping me get through it.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought that up because I feel like one thing about me, I just bring out like people just want to confide in me and like vent to me. And I love that for y'all, to be honest, because why not? I feel like I'm a very safe space for people.
Girl, don't nobody want to vent to you.
Okay. Okay. All right.
But so since everyone, my question is, since everybody come to you, what do you feel like your outlet is? Like, how do you get through yours? Because you don't really talk too much about how
Yeah.
you feel.
I don't talk about it. And I don't think about it until somebody brings it up to me. And yeah, I feel like for so long, like even growing up with both of my parents being sick a lot and like it just being me and my sister, it was like it was hard to feel stuff because everything was about them.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody called, if something happened, it's about them, it's about their health, it's about stuff like that. And I feel like even I can't be mad at my parents either, because I feel like they didn't even really, I don't think they ever really realized that
Mhm.
that they were so sick that everything was about them. Like, so we never, I feel like I personally never got the chance to even deal with things that I felt as a kid, and sometimes I still hold on to that stuff. But I also feel like we can't allow what happened to us as kids dictate how we are as an adult. So I feel like I can't walk around and be shitty to people, and I can't walk around and put all my what I felt as a kid onto like men that I talk to, or to my friends and to my family. So I just don't talk about it. Even though I have people around me like you and my best friend to talk about this stuff too. But I feel like I'm just sometimes still stuck in that mindset of like it's not about me. So I'm just not gonna talk about it. Which is unfortunate, but
It is because I feel like between me, you, and Kaylin, it's kind of like a safe space, just like and Sabrina too,
yeah.
where we could just. That's my girl. Why you? I feel like if something really came up and I wasn't able to get to y'all, it would probably be between y'all and Brittany. The
Mhm.
only people that I probably go to outside my best friend group. Like, um, yeah. Other than that, anybody know my business.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you ever thought about counseling as a adult now?
Um, I feel like I have briefly. I don't think I've ever thought about it like super seriously. Like I'm actually gonna go and pay for it. You know what I'm saying? I do feel like I would benefit from it. I personally do, but also at the same, I have it really bad too, where I like if I feel like somebody don't care about what I'm talking about, I don't want to talk about it.
Me,
So
me too.
paying somebody to listen to me, sometimes it'd be like, do I want to do that or?
I'm not gonna lie. My experience from when I was younger, it was okay. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like she kind of made it about her during that
You know,
time. Like,
yeah.
girl, I ain't asked you about your red shoes or what you got bullied and picked on. This is about me.
And that
But
too, like if I'm telling you, like if I'm telling you how I feel about something, that ain't your chance to bring up in the ways that it would affect you. Like
right.
this is my turn. If you wanted to say something, you should have paid for you a session.
Okay, because why
If
you
you,
the therapist needing a therapist? I
yeah,
mean, they do, but I'm just saying,
but
like, this
go
ain't
get
your
your session.
therapy session.
Exactly, I paid for this
Is you finna pay
time
me? Because I will get my money back then, okay?
because. But yeah, I never. Yeah,
But I feel like it was helpful. Only like I said, because when you speak it out loud and just talk about it, kind of take it don't take it away, but it take a relief from you a little bit.
mm,
So I'm not against therapy at all. I feel like people should go, especially in our Black community.
yeah. Because how do you feel about like sometimes I feel like when people say they're depressed or they don't really know how to pivot and move forward from certain things that happen in their life, people always go straight to, well, go get some money or da 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 da, or you need to
Yeah.
find you a nigga and take all his money or get some bags and this and that. But I feel like people use that as a scapegoat instead of really dealing with the real issue. Is just going straight to, well, you down and you bad at it, you need to go chase a check. But it's like, bitch, I'm
It's
mentally
like,
exhausted.
okay,
Like,
you think I want to get up and chase a check right now?
yeah.
I feel like that's terrible, and I don't even know why people do that because it's like you disregard my feelings, you disregard everything, and then that's where it happens to like some people the way they cope or they end with the depression. It don't always be good. So for you keep pushing that person, you might be pushing them to the end of time.
Mm-hmm.
Like they may have done had enough, and you just telling them like, oh well, go get a check, or go get up under a man. Like why would I want? You can go get under a man and he could be the worst thing ever. That's pushing you deeper into depression. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like I feel like you should really just target that issue and see what's going on or what's the deep root of the problem. And if that's therapy, if that's talking to a person, that's journaling, exercising, you have to figure out your way of coping with that depression and actually getting to the bottom of it to get through it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like I just think that sometimes when people how do you okay, I'm trying to ask my question right.
Mhm.
How do you feel like people who are in certain friend groups who might not feel like they're like, okay, if there's a group of four friends,
Mhm.
you may not even be the one that's the closest to everybody.
Right.
So how do you feel like those people can go about getting off with it, whatever they need to talk about, or if they don't have somebody to talk to? What ways do you feel like they could be able to also, you know what I mean? Like just feeling Okay, I'm trying to get my question out. I'm
I'm
sorry.
so looking like
Only because I'm trying to like. I feel like even though I have like my group of friends, I feel like I'm not necessarily like the go to for them,
Mhm.
and I feel like sometimes they're not the go to for
For
me.
me. Yeah,
You
I
know what I
understand
mean?
that. That's me. Yeah.
So it's like for people who also feel like me, who are like, I feel like I got people, but I kind of like I don't want to bother nobody, or I don't want to too much. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
What ways do you feel like somebody like that could be like to start getting it off? Because I feel like me personally, like I tell you, my goal in life is honestly mental freedom,
Mhm.
financial freedom as well, but mental freedom. Really getting all of that baggage, all of that depression, all of that out, like getting all this old things off my chest. A
Mhm.
lot of people hold on to a lot of different things, and I feel like it's time to
Well, I ain't gonna lie to you.
devil get off me. It's
It's
time
been
to
times
let that
where ain't
go.
nobody knew what I was going through or what was going on with a lot of stuff. I feel like what helped me, like if you really feel like you can't, I mean, but this is what just helped me. I can't say this is for somebody else. Meditating and what was the other one? And journaling. I feel like just sometimes separating yourself and just thinking about it and really talking to yourself about it and crying. Don't feel like just because you depressed you can't cry, because sometimes crying does help. You
Yeah,
gotta release that. Like, don't let people make you feel like you a sucker for crying or you weak. Sometimes that cry can help. You done cried and got it out, and you can get up and keep going about your day. But I feel like one thing that I done got heavy on within like the last year is definitely meditating, and people don't really do that. I don't know why. I mean,
I don't
everybody,
meditate.
it's very helpful. Like
I feel
just
like I can't stop
thinking,
thinking.
but that's why you keep going, like practicing it. You know, you'll eventually come out your mind just sitting there, just quiet, just your thoughts gonna run regardless whatever anybody say, but you keep doing it and being consistent, you'll get better at it. And I feel
Mhm.
like that really helped a lot,
Yeah,
like just meditating.
yeah. So we hope that you guys.
Wait.
Oh,
A question I had is, do you feel like the black community downplay depression, or do you feel like nowadays people are accepting it and trying to like really kind of find an outlet? Like, you know how people like, oh yeah, I'm there for you, be there for you, but then you see here on social media, some people will be like, oh, they depressed, laughing at this shit until somebody done killed themselves. Then now all of a sudden,
hmm,
oh, y'all was being so mean in the comments and all that.
right. I feel like even like what I just said, like I feel like people are accepting to it, but also at the same time, people are like, oh well you down? Why you not up going to work? Why you not up chasing the bag? Why you just like before when we said depression sometimes can have that feeling or that hold over you where it's like I physically can't get up.
Hmm.
And I feel like a lot of times that people get that bad energy and that negative energy is from people who ain't never been through it or
Hmm.
never went through it maybe to the extent that you have. And so now because they don't understand, they don't want to understand. So now they're just gonna talk shit.
Right.
So I feel like people are accepting to it and are like therapy and even stuff like that. So I feel like sometimes it's the negative people who are like bringing all the well, it's not that deep or it's not that serious or the if it was me, you can't tell me how to feel just because that's not the same way that you handled it.
Right. I feel like our community take a lot of stuff as a joke sometimes.
Same.
Like they say, "Oh, I know we don't." No, this I do because every time I get on social media, y'all laughing at some stuff that I feel like ain't even funny. It'd be like real life people been going through stuff. Like earlier, even when you showed me, what was that? That woman that killed her husband because
Hmm.
he found out he was gay. A lot of people was under them comments cracking jokes about him being gay. And it's like, look where he at now because she couldn't control her emotions.
Right,
Like,
right.
um, I just feel like we gotta do better as a community together and like stand together and actually like be there for one another.
For sure. And I feel like being able to control your emotions is going to be a big thing in life, just in general across the board. Because if you can't control your own emotions, you're not going to be able to do anything. You're going to always feel like if you at work and somebody call you and say something, not that done fucked up your whole day, or you can't now you being rude and disrespectful to everybody who come your way because of something that happened yesterday or a
Right.
month ago or something like that. So being able to control that is I feel like that's gonna take people so far. And even though whatever you may going through or whatever emotions you may be feeling, find a way or an outlet to be able to get that out in more of a positive way. I feel like we definitely are very negative when it comes to certain things. So finding outlets that are positive,
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be, because I feel like that's why people don't want to say stuff. Even the guy coming out gay, why would I want to say something and this is how everybody's gonna react to me? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like why would I want that?
Yeah, true.
But yeah.
But our inbox is always open if you guys need to speak or talk. I'm always here as a listening ear.
Yeah. And so we know this episode was a little bit deeper, but we have a game that we're gonna play. And we want to play this at the end of every episode. Shout out to Terrell. This is where we got the game from. So the game is basically called I Know You Fucking Lying. So what we're gonna do is we have to, based on the scenario, we have to name as many as we can name, and the person who cannot, they have to take a shot. So all we got today is wine. So we're gonna be taking shots of wine. That's a little ghetto, but that's okay.
Shit lightweight, y'all.
Okay. I'm fasting. I'm not drinking right now, but just wait on it. Just wait
that's
on
good.
it.
That's good.
Do you got some in your cup?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So I'll go first. The first scenario is gonna be shows named after the main character. I can name 3.
I can name 2.
How you gonna say less than me?
I can name 4.
I can name 5.
I know
That's
you
it.
fucking lying.
Martin, George Lopez.
You got 5 seconds.
I had 5 seconds to think. Martin, George Lopez, Reba.
Girl, your 5 seconds up. Take that
you
shot.
didn't even give me a chance to say all the- Jimmy Fallon.
No, you said 5 seconds.
5
You
seconds
didn't
to
name that in
think.
5 seconds. All
Okay.
of them.
She's cheating already. First time playing, she already cheating. But I definitely knew 5.
Okay, name them though. Still.
No. I already
Yeah,
took the shot.
name 'em.
I already took the shot. I already took the shot.
Martin, Reba, George
I
Lopez.
already
you
took
didn't
my
say
shot.
one that's very important.
Did you give me a chance?
Okay, but
Did you
let
give
me
me a
see if you're
chance?
gonna say it.
Did you give me a chance?
Go.
Who I say? Martin, Reba. Who else I say?
George
George
Lopez.
Lopez, Bernie Mac, Jamie Foxx. 5.
That's so Raven. I can't even believe you.
That's the most important.
Yeah. That's the most
To
important.
who?
Us, our time.
Okay. What's
Okay. Name some cities. I can name about 5.
in Milwaukee? I mean,
No,
in Wisconsin?
United States.
How many you say?
5.
You can name 5. I can name 7.
I can name 8.
I know you fucking lying.
Dallas, Chicago, Houston, Seattle. No.
Yeah, take your shot. You said 5 seconds. Yeah, take your shot. Take your shot.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. So take your shot.
I take my shot. I do it probably.
Okay. How many streets in Milwaukee can you name? I can name 2.
I can name 4.
I can name 5.
I can name 6.
I can name 7.
I know you fucking lying.
Are you done counting?
Okay, yes. Go.
Okay. Our Avenue, North Avenue, Capitol, Locust, Burla.
Was that 7? That ain't 7.
Uh,
All right, take your shot.
No.
You can't name 7.
It's okay. Hampton.
You ain't gotta lie.
Hampton.
Take that
Villard.
shot. You just,
And Villard.
I guess. I wouldn't say you knew him, but
I knew him.
all right.
Okay. The 5-second thing is what's throwing me off. Give me a chance.
Your rule.
All right. No, I said 5 seconds to think.
You 5 seconds up. You wanna do one more?
Yeah.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
How many airlines can you name? I can name 3.
I can name 4.
I can name 5.
I can name 6.
I know you fucking lying because I know I can't name.
Okay. Spirit, Southwest, Frontier, Delta, American, Emirates.
Never heard them, but okay.
Well, I say 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I see you.
Yeah.
All right. I see you.
Anyways, thanks for tuning in this week, guys. We hope to see you next week.
on the Too Familiar podcast channel. Peace.